Hello all and welcome to a collection video, and this is my Xbox One physical releases collection. Yes, if I was to include the digital releases that I have, this collection would be a hell of a lot bigger. As it is, I do like to collect physical copies of games, and as it stands I have 44 of them, so we're going to go through those now and just show you what I have in my physical collection of Xbox One games. And we'll start, of course, with the one here that you've been staring at the whole time on screen, and it is Too Dark Steelbook Edition indie game, a survival horror game. Haven't got round to playing it yet, but when I saw this for not a lot of money, and I saw this beautiful steelbook here in fantastic condition. It was pre-owned when I bought it. I just had to have a few light scratches there, but nothing to really write home about. As I say, beautiful steelbook. Comes with a soundtrack as well. And of course, there it is, your game. As I say, just a beautiful steelbook. And I thought this was just a nice piece to have in the collection, because don't we just all love a steelbook? First game that isn't a steelbook we have. I remember picking this up for real cheap as part of a CEX challenge once upon a time. Agents of Mayhem. Haven't got round to playing it, but it looks fun. It does look fun, so I look forward to giving this a bash at some point. I've been saying that for perhaps over a year now. But we've got Agents of Mayhem in the collection. If I see a game for dirt cheap, of course I'm going to pick it up, and that's what happened with this. Next up, another steelbook, and another beautiful steelbook, another pre-owned steelbook. We have Alien Isolation, another survival horror game. And there we go. Isn't that steelbook just fantastic? Absolutely fantastic condition as well, so obviously very pleased when I picked this up. Game inside, no literature unfortunately, so it's pre-owned from games, so they possibly threw that away. That may be something I need to look up in the future and try to obtain. But there we go, Alien Isolation. Next up is in every collection, aren't they? This, of course, it was cheap to pick up. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Have played through this, just had a run through the campaign. Quite enjoyed it, to be honest with you, but it's nowhere near the best Call of Duty game. And it's kind of, if it was its own release and not called a Call of Duty game, it might have been appreciated a bit more, if that makes any sense. But for what it was all right. It's worth a quick run through. I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. Okay, next up, Carmageddon Max Damage. Have played this one. I was really excited to play this because I remember playing it back in the day when it was on the PC, and all the controversy that surrounded it and stuff like that happened. But unfortunately for me, the game was still good in a sense of what you had to do and all that, but it was just let down by the handling of the driving. I really did struggle with it, sadly. So it's okay, but just let down by the driving side of it. Next up, well, I had to have this when I heard this was announced. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Obviously, all three games remastered. This one had the 2 bonus levels in it. I've actually played through the first one, just sort of without going for everything, just played through it, and about halfway through the second one. I do need to return to this, but I had played them all back on the PlayStation 1 back in the day as well. Again, just as soon as I saw this, it was just a must-have. And the same applies to the same fella here in Crash Team Racing. This was a day one buy for me. I remember waking up the morning this was released, straight down to game, buying it. I came home, I filmed an unboxing of it, straight onto it, and yeah, it is just a fantastic remaster of the game. Nice little bonus there for the standard edition when I bought it. Electron skins pack. There we go. As I say, it's Crash Team Racing. They've done a fantastic job here remastering it. Absolutely love it. Next up, a game I haven't tried, but I bought for £2.99 from Game, because if you're going to sell me a brand new Xbox One game for £3, I'm going to pick it up and give it a bash. This one has this banner down here saying requires Internet and Xbox Live Gold membership, so if you're looking to buy this, you have to bear that in mind. There's not a lot I can tell you about this game apart from what I see on the cover here, because I don't know what it's about, but whatever you're doing, it does look to have an open world element about it. So yeah, it's just for £3 you can't go wrong. Again, we'll get around to trying it at some point. Next up, a franchise that's familiar to a lot of people. This one you can pick up cheap as well. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Day 1 edition as well. Just found it in CEX, and I went for the Day 1 edition just because the box art is probably a little bit different. And the nice thing about it, it came with all the paperwork as well. So it's complete as we like to say. So yep, Deus Ex Man Divided. Everyone knows about Deus Ex a little bit. Next up, another franchise that doesn't need any explanation at all. Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. As I say, I played the Devil May Cry's originally. I think on the PS2 was the first time I experienced a bit of Devil May Cry, and absolutely loved it. So when I saw this, I picked it up as part of a CX challenge in one of my videos, and again, it's just something I need to get round to playing as well. Cannot wait to get back into a little bit of Devil May Cry. Next up, what do we have? This is the original Doom. The first, because we've had a recent one released, it's not the original Doom. It is the first Doom that's released on the Xbox One, and this was fantastic. They absolutely nailed it in my eyes. They really got the franchise sort of into the modern era absolutely perfectly. This is an absolutely stonking game, so do highly recommend this one. Nice bit of inside artwork there, in which you can reverse it, but then you'll have nothing else on the front of it. Like on the back here, nothing you can read or anything. It is literally just a picture, but it is a fantastic picture at that. So yeah, very old school. So yeah, Doom, good one to pick up for the Xbox One. I don't think it's that expensive either. Another game, haven't played, but if you're going to sell me a brand new Xbox One game for £2.99, I'm going to pick it up and give it a go. Looks really interesting. From what I've understood from people that have played it, it gets a little bit of a hard rap for kind of people thought it was going to be better than it was. So I'll make my own judgment of it. I do look forward to playing it, and yeah, we'll just give it a bash at some point. Again, saying that a lot, aren't I? Extinction, £2.99, can't go wrong. Next up, Fallout 4. This was also part of a CX challenge. I played a little bit of Fallout. I haven't played Fallout 4, and I've got nothing against the franchise. It's just not my kind of game. But at the same time, you have to give every game within the franchise a little bit of a go, because, as you say, you just never know what you may enjoy. So I will give Fallout 4 a go. I've only played the earlier Fallout, so I'm guessing the later ones will be a little bit different. Exclusive offer there, Fallout 3 included for free. So that, because obviously that's back compat, so that is why that is in there. And to my pleasure, when I bought it, everything was in there. We got every sort of bit of paperwork there you could need. I'm going to guess the season pass there has probably been used up. But, as I say, it picks up for cheap, so I will give this a bash at some point. Talking about picking up for cheap, every collection has one. I wasn't looking to buy physical copies of FIFA particularly, but I went into game one day, and it was 20p. So, for 20p, if I haven't got it, even if it is a FIFA, I'm going to pick it up. Ultimate Team Edition. There's no paperwork in there, so I'm guessing there was some paperwork to go with the fact it was Ultimate Team Edition. But apart from that, 20p for a FIFA, not going to turn it down. Next up, fantastic game. Fantastic game. I love the Forza Horizon series. I've played them all. 4, which is set in Great Britain, but this is 3, and this is set in Australia, and it's absolutely beautiful to play, look at, handles superbly, everything about it is amazing. And this actually come bundled with my Xbox One back when I first bought it, so really pleased obviously to get this game with the console when I did indeed buy the console. And while we're with Forza, we've got a bit of motorsport going as well. Forza Motorsport 5. Again, I played Forza Motorsport 5 and 6. I've yet to play 7, but this is beautiful. Again, this is obviously the serious side of the franchise. The Horizon's sort of the bit more open world fun type to the franchise. Both good. I do prefer the Horizons, but I still do love these two. They are brilliant. And this steelbook, again, fantastic condition. It's just nice to have a steelbook. This was kindly gifted to me. Don't know if it originally had a sleeve, but to be honest with you, how it appears and the fact it's got it on the side, so, you know, when you got it on the shelf, you still know what it is. It is a fantastic piece to have the collection. Really pleased to have it. So, up next, people that know me will not be surprised that these are in here, and this game I put over 1,000 hours into. I've even looked it up. That is a true statement as well. Gears of War 4, and it comes with download codes for all the 4 originals, which are also part of Game Pass, as everything very accessible is the Gears of War franchise. So I put over 1,000 hours into it just because I love the Horde mode so much. Obviously, got it from new, so all the little bit of paperwork in here with all the codes is still on. I think I've gifted all of the codes now except for the original Gears of War because I have them anyway. But just love it. Just absolutely love it. I really do. The Horde mode in this, I just got so addicted to it. As I say, I played it for over 1,000 hours. Well, if we've got Gears of War 4, we have also got Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Obviously, this is basically a remastering of the very first Gears of War. But the good thing about this Gears of War over the original one, which is backwards compatible, when they remastered, they included the PC levels only, the levels that were only available on PC, in this version so that you can play it. So you've got an extra kind of 3 levels or sections or whatever you want to call them in this game over the standard Gears of War release if you've only ever played a Gears of War on a console, which is what I had done. So it was great to experience those, and of course that means we've got a Brumac fight in this, which we didn't have originally. Absolutely fantastic. As I say, I played it through Game Pass and only picked up my physical copy recently as of towards the end of last year. Love that disc artwork there with the 4 main members of the Delta Squad there. Absolutely loving it. That is really nice touch as well. And of course I bought it pre-owned as well, so it's nice to have all these little bits of paperwork in it. Sheet of stickers there, which is still there, which is nice. And again, lottery, does it work? Haven't got around to trying it yet. So obviously Gears of War Ultimate Edition, gonna love that and love having that in the collection. And the one you thought I was probably going to say after Gears 4, yes, I do have it. Gears 5, pre-ordered this, had it delivered the morning, paid the extra to have it delivered the morning of its release. And this is absolutely beautiful. This steelbook is absolutely beautiful. Obviously, it's new to me, so it's in absolutely mint condition. Love the condition of it. All the paperwork's going to be in there. Again, obviously, bought it brand new. It is just beautiful. I really enjoyed the campaign of this. There's kind of a little bit of an open world element to some sections in this as well, and that just adds to the beauty of it. And again, the storyline I really enjoyed. There's a very jaw-dropping moment in it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't played it yet, but if you know the franchise and you've picked up the story from day one, there's a very jaw-dropping moment in this where, I'm not going to say any more, but fantastic. Let down a little bit by the Horde mode. I didn't really like the adjustments of what they've done with the Horde mode, but at the end of the day, they tried something new, and every time we get a new game and get a mode that we love, we're always interested in what the differences are. For me, I didn't like the change they made to Horde mode, so I go back to Gears 4 and 3 when it comes to playing Horde mode. Those two are the best in my eyes. Anyway, next up, I picked this up cheap in a charity shop. I don't play a lot of Halo. I tend to obviously go for playing Gears over Halo. Got nothing against the Halo franchise. I respect what it means to Xbox and to its and to Xbox in general. And it's just it is Halo. I was going to say I do really need to sink time into Halo to try and appreciate it more than I already do appreciate, and I do appreciate it. But we need to get into playing some Halo. And I've got Halo 5 Guardians. I do also believe I have disc only of other Halo games as well. Just need to get around again to installing them and playing them. Next up, this was bought as part of a CEX challenge as well. Homefront The Revolution. Now, I played the Homefront that is on the 360, and that was very Call of Duty-esque. I haven't got around to playing this yet. I'm expecting this to be very Call of Duty-esque. The campaign time on the 360 one was really short, so I hope they fixed that and made this a little bit longer and a little bit more depth and a little bit more for your money. But looking forward to giving it a try. I was going to say, it wasn't an awful game for what it was on the 360. So if it's anything like that, then it's not too bad. Again, I bought this pre-owned, and to have all these little bits of paperwork in there are nice, even if the codes don't work. As I say, codes in boxes, it's always a lottery of will they, won't they work. Next up, oh yes, do love a beat 'em up. So I do love me a bit of Killer Instinct. Now, I bought this when I got my console as well. Obviously, it come bundled with Forza Horizon 3, like I said. But I picked 2 games off the shelf to play as well. And one of them was Killer Instinct Combo Breaker Pack. Now, I know it's a free download, but obviously this will then unlock a lot of characters. So for me, I had to have it. I wanted a bit of depth in my game, just rather than playing with the 1 or 2 free characters they give you, and the weekly rolling one that changes every week as well, rather than just wait for someone. So I had to have this. Bonus fighter included. That's TJ Combo by the looks of it. Not by the looks of it, it is. But yep, as soon as I bought the system, I had to have it. There's the download code for that in a foreign language. As I say, I've had the disc in and installed it all, so know it works. So yes, love a beat 'em up, so I'm always going to be picking those up all day long. Next up, this was gifted to me by a good friend of mine, Lego Dimensions. Obviously, you need bits and pieces with it. I don't have any of that, but if I ever come across the bits and pieces separately, second-hand, then I can always pick them up, and then I've got the disc to play. So I appreciate that being gifted to me, and there we go. I don't know if there's meant to be paperwork with it, but you never do know nowadays with games in this generation, because a lot of them don't come with manuals nowadays. Okay, next up, bought this again because it was just in fantastic condition. Nice steelbook. We've got Mafia 3 Deluxe Edition. Haven't got round to playing this as well. In fact, it's not a steelbook. It's just a slipcase. My bad. But everything is in there as well. And I say I'm a sucker for a slipcase anyway. There's a map and everything. As I say, before I took it to the count, I did actually pull the slipcase out and look in it. When I saw everything in there and it wasn't a lot of money, I had to have it. So, yeah, like you said, include games of season pass. But I bought it pre-owned, so it's a lottery of if and will that work. So when I get round to it, I will indeed have a little bit of a try with the code anyway. Another game that was gifted to me by a good friend of mine. Haven't got round to playing it yet. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Obviously, everyone knows about the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Just got to get round to installing it and trying it at some point. So I'm very happy to have that in the collection so that I can do that. Now, this one is definitely a steelbook. I'm going to get it right this time. And as soon as I saw this and the steelbook, I thought the steelbook was beautiful. Had to have it in the collection. Haven't got around to playing it again. Don't know an awful lot about this game, so it'll be interesting to hear about that if you do know about it in the comment section below. But Middle-earth Shadow of War Gold Edition, as I say, beautiful steelbook. It was bought pre-owned and is in absolutely fantastic condition. It is beautiful. I was going to say, we all love a good steelbook, don't we? So, yes, there might have been paperwork in it, but it's bought from game and they tend to throw it away nowadays. But, yeah, absolutely loving the look of that steelbook. Beautiful steelbook. So, yes, nice piece in the collection. Next up, when I said I bought 2 games from game when I got my console, the second one was Mortal Kombat XL, because I love my beat-em-ups and I absolutely adore this franchise. Mortal Kombat 9 on 360 was a return to its form, and to be honest with you, this one, even though it's graphically better, is not as good as MK9. I must admit, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for MK9 over anything. MK11 is an improvement on this as well and is a better game, but as I say, I love my beat-em-up, so when I bought my console and this was just sitting there chilling, I had to have Mortal Kombat XL because we've got all these extra characters here all on the disc, so everything was there for me. Of course, there is Leatherface there, and Jason Voorhees is in it as well, and I'm a bigger horror movie fan, so had to have that because they were in it too as well. Next up is another. It was only 20p on the shelf. It's not FIFA this time. It's the other one. It's PES 2015. Like I say, you're going to sell me a game for 20p. I'm going to pick it up. Nice snazzy colour in there on the disc. Nice little improvement. And as you can see, it's from game, and I haven't quite disposed of the stickers properly. So, yeah, I mean, stick it in, play it, whip a few achievements out of it, move it on. Next up is an essential purchase if you've got an Xbox One anyway, especially if you love retro gaming even more, and that is the Rare Replay. 30 hits, one epic collection. One epic collection is a bloody good way to describe that. Just look at all that. I'll give you an idea of what's on there. Battletoads, the original game on there, complete difficulty. Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie games, Perfect Dark Zero, Jetpack Refuel. Just so many good games that if we can just, there you go, perhaps you can have a little pause there and read some of, that's just some of the games as well. There's some proper, very old school games on there as well. And as I say, it's an absolute beaut of a game, and if you like your achievements, there's some very tough ones on here, but there's like over 3,000 gamer score on here, and there's a whole chunk of them you can get from just pressing start as well. But as I say, essential purchase. You need this if you've got an Xbox One, if you ask me, and like I said earlier, especially if you love retro games, and that can kind of apply to this in a little way. Yes, there are many of these compilations with the Mega Drive classics. There was a 360 one, and then they made a 1-1 as well. Anything you could want Sega Mega Drive wise is nearly on here when it comes to the classics that everybody knows. As you can see, they're all sort of depicted here. A lot of them there's Sonic, they're all on there. Altered Beast, Gunstar Heroes, Space Harrier. You've got Zaxxel and Blaze of Streets of Rage. All 3 of them are on there. Shinobi, Columns, like I said, over 50 classic games. It is absolutely fantastic, and this was a brand new purchase for me as well. So if I hold this here, just in case you don't know about it and you want to pause it to see what's on there, that looks like every game there as well. And I didn't even remember the Wonder Boy games, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, just so many good games. And like it says on there, I think it comes with a double-sided poster, Streets of Rage on one side, Golden Axe on the other. Great poster. I put images of this on my Instagram when I very first bought this, so you can find that there if you want to see a full-on picture of these. Link to my Instagram is in the description. Nice little disc art there, because that's the top of a Sega Mega Drive, and there's the cartridge slot. So nice little touch that. You know, I do notice them. And yes, as I say, everything's in there because I bought it from brand new. Next up, what have we got? This popped up in a charity shop for £2.99. And back then it was worth a tenner in CEX. Sniper Elite 3. Yet to play a Sniper Elite 3 game, or sorry, a Sniper Elite game. So I'm very much looking forward to giving this a try. And I don't know if this meant, again, was it meant to have a manual? But I checked the disc when I was in the charity shop. That is absolutely mint. And I could have traded it in for a bit of trade credit profit, but I wasn't going to do that because I haven't played it. I haven't got it in the collection, and I want to. I mean, I'm not full set in the Xbox One by any means. That would be a Herculean task. But at the same time, I'm going to get any game that I haven't got if I see it for cheap, especially a franchise of this quality that I don't own and have never played. So Sniper Elite 3 for an absolute steal. Next up, I've done an unboxing of this Sonic Forces Sonic Mania Plus Double Pack, and I saw this in game and I bought this brand new. It was sealed. Again, I've done an unboxing of this on the channel, so if you want to see what's in it in a little bit more in depth, please do give that a check. I'll put a link to that specific video in the description as well. Includes art book with Sega Mega Drive reversible cover. In fact, I will show that on Sonic Mania if I can get Sonic Mania out without too much fuss. There's the art book. There's Sonic Forces. And there it is. It's we blue spined it up basically, and it looks fantastic. If you can, you can see the other one perhaps there. We can take it up like the original Sonic Mania cover art. Again, I bought it from brand new, so everything's in there. As I say, I've done an unboxing on this, so please do feel free to check that out if you're a little bit more interested as to what is in there. And that's not the end of Sonic, because we've got Sonic Generations. Now, my suspicion about this is it's a backwards compatible game, so there's kind of an Xbox One looking release of the game, but because it's in this style of box, I class it as in the Xbox One collection. But as you'll see on the top here, it's got Xbox One, Xbox 360, and then if you open it up, the disc is different from the Xbox 360, and it has both of them written at the top there as well. So it is basically the Xbox 360 game disc, which you can then obviously stick in your One and use because it's back compat. No manual in it, but the 360 version had a manual, so I'm wondering if this is meant to have one. This was part of an eBay bundle lot that I picked up, if I remember rightly, with some 360 games, so they perhaps bought it in this format and played it on their 360. Again, not sure there was meant to be a manual in it. If you bought this specific version, and I mean box version of this game, please do let me know if yours has a manual. If it does have a manual, would be very interested to know if this is complete or not. But Sonic Generations has had a lot of bad releases sort of round about the time period that this came to fruition, but this is a really good Sonic game. Obviously, Generations, you can play a sort of an older Sonic and a newer Sonic, 3D, 2D environments. Fantastic game, put a lot of time into this. I actually bought it brand new on the 360 when it first came out. Next up is, again, another series which I'm guilty of never playing, which I really should get round to, and that is Star Wars Battlefront. And this was, again, bought cheap in game, and it was buy one, get one free, cheapest one free, so I bought two of the same price, and this was one of the games I bought, and I think this was when I bought Gears of War Ultimate Edition at the same time as well. It was in game, and they hadn't thrown the innards away, which was absolutely very nice of them. So this is complete, and as I say, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I don't mind Star Wars. I appreciate Star Wars, but it's not one of those things that is my first go-to or anything like that. But, you know, I appreciate it. And this style of game, I must really try it. And I was just guilty of not trying it. So when I saw it for that cheap and I wanted Gears of War Ultimate Edition, it was basically getting this for free with it. So it gives me a perfect excuse and reason to finally give this a go. Next up is another fantastic compilation because I am an absolutely massive fan of the series. Probably includes my favourite game of all time if I was put on the spot and had to pick one. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. 12 different Street Fighter games on here, including the Street Fighter, not Street Fighter 2 like the original one. And then obviously Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, Championship Edition, 3 Alphas, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, the other Street Fighter 3 variant as well, which name kind of eludes me right now. There we go, they're all there. And that's it, Street Fighter 3 New Generation, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, that's it. All of them are there. I was going to say, just hours of fun. And I remember when I first got this, I actually played this all day on a stream, literally all day on a stream. It's the longest I've ever streamed a game for, I think. It was something ridiculous, like 12 and a half hours. Obviously with toilet breaks or breaks for food, but, you know, if you love Street Fighter, essential purchase. Obviously, released on many platforms, released on PS4 and Switch and things like that as well. But again, this was a day one purchase for me, so I had to have it. And if I remember rightly, there's some inside art there. Look, it's a shame that is actually not a separate poster, because that would be really nice. That would be really nice. In fact, you know what? Let's just try and get it out. There we go. That is absolutely beautiful. I really like that. As I say, it's a shame that it's part of the box artwork and not a separate poster. So, but there we go. As I say, I bought it from you, so I know it's complete. So there we go. I'll pop that back in a minute. Next up, another brand new day one purchase for me, because I like Sonic, I like kart races, and Team Sonic Racing. So I was quite excited to buy this. Again, I bought this day one, so I've done an unboxing on the channel, so you can check that video out if you so desire. Obviously, it's complete in there. There is some extra paperwork in there, which is nice. A nice disc and all that. And it was okay. I liked what they tried to do with this, with the team aspects. Like, you're trying to win the race, but at the same time, if your team member wins, because you're not in the same car or anything like that, then you win by whatever your team is, and obviously you compete with the other teams and all that. It was a good idea, but I don't know if there's just something missing about this game that doesn't make it as good as its previous iterations. But it's not a bad race at the same time. The best one in the series for me is Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed on the 360, which I think was the second one in sort of the Sonic kart racing franchise, if you want to separate it down like that, because they've all got different names, obviously. And that was good. That was obviously where your car sort of, you come to a section where you need to fly, so it turns into a plane, a section where you need to go over water, so you turn into a boat, sort of mid-race like that, and it's just one for all, you know. You haven't got your team members. So, like the idea what they did with this, it just didn't kind of pay off for me. So, it's not a bad game, but at the same time, it's not the best in the franchise. Okay, so next up, I love me beat 'em ups. Gotta have Tekken 7. I've kindly requested this for Christmas one year, and my sister kindly obliged. Absolutely loved it. Got the full 1000G on it, so I had to play a bit of online, even though I don't like playing online too much. But there we go. Obviously, I've had it from new, so everything's in there, even if I did put it back in upside down. So there we go. That season pass has already been bought. It's not in there. So everything's in there. Tekken 7. If you like your Tekkens, then highly recommend this. However, my favourite in the franchise of Tekken is actually still the third one, Tekken 3, which is on the PS1, which I do own and am starting to play again lately. Next up, not got round to playing it. Again, 99p I think this was, so I just didn't want to turn it down for that money. Again, Titanfall is another franchise I've yet to try. I really should do. So when I bought it pre-owned, there was no paperwork in there. Again, you don't know if it's meant to. But yeah, really should get around to trying Titanfalls at some point. I really do. I know there's a sequel as well. I really should get around to trying that as well. Next up, another charity shop purchase. The same one that had Sniper Elite in it. So whoever chucked their games in, obviously had a little bit of thing for FPSs and gun games. And this time it's Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, which had Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 included, but like I say, it's pre-owned, so I don't know if it works. But the nice thing is that paperwork is in there with all the other paperwork. So even though I'm going to own them at some point, how do I try them and find out if they work and then give them away? It's not possible. So I don't know, but because I'm going to own them at some point, I might give the code to someone and say, hey, give these a bash, they may work. But anyway, looking forward to trying Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, as much as I am looking forward to trying another game by him, which was gifted to me by a friend very kindly, Tom Clancy's The Division. This looks absolutely beautiful. So why haven't I played this yet? I don't even know myself. I really need to give this a bash very soon. So yes, Tom Clancy's The Division. And obviously I think there's a Division 2 now as well. Okay, we've got 3 more games to go. This one still has the price on the front of what I paid for it in CEX. We'll sort that out soon. Wolfenstein The Old Blood. There's a new Blood as well. And there's another game that's been released very recently as well, end of last year, I believe, or something like that. And again, not played them all. Let's say I'm blaming the 1,000 hours plus I put into Gears of War 4 for me being mega behind. But then again, I just buy a lot of games, more games than I can play in one hit. So yes, the Wolfenstein The New Blood. I love the artwork on this. I love the sort of old style artwork of it. So that's probably what, because I had a chance to buy the New Blood as well, but I think I was just swayed by that cover art. Do really like it. And as you'll see, I paid £5 for it in CEX. Those labels will be off very shortly. Next up, this was bought at the London Gaming Market. 3D platforming. Looks a lot of fun. Cannot wait to get to grips with this one. Heard a lot of good things about everybody that plays this. Says how good it is. So from that, I should be recommending it too, but I haven't got round to it yet. In fact, I'm going to sneak this into the play very soon pile. So it was bought as part of a bundle deal when I went to the London Game Market once upon a time. So yes, Ukulele. I think it's part of Game Pass as well, so it's quite available to everybody. And then my very last game, if you might have noticed, has been going alphabetical order. So the last game might begin with Z. It does. And I see this everywhere. I think I've actually played this. It's all right. It's not bad. I think I played it because it was part of Games with Gold once upon a time. And yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. It's okay. It's not the best zombie game out there, but it's not the worst as well. And it's even got some paperwork in it as well. I'm struggling to remember where I got this from. Oh yes, it was gifted to me too as well. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my physical Xbox One collection as it stands, April 2020. Do stay tuned because it's been a year nearly since I've done my Xbox 360 collection video originally, and I titled that as it stands, going for the full set. And there was about 88 or 90 games in that video, and I'm going to do an updated video very soon in a couple of weeks time, 1 year on. So do stay tuned for that as well. So in a year's time, you never know, I may be doing one on my Xbox One physical collection as well, because although I'm not actively going for the full set, I'm always adding to it. I am actively going for the full set of the Xbox 360. That will always go up, so please do stay tuned for that. This just now leaves me to say thank you very much for watching, and as always, take care.